First of all, I'm excited to be here. I've been away for a while, busy, but I'm back here, so to grow my channel, and give valuable information that I have that one or two people might learn from along this conversation I'll be having with all of you. So basically, today I want to talk about what you need to know before relocating. So, as you might already know, some of you, if you're a new subscriber here, my name is Beatrice. I'm a Nigerian based in South Africa. I migrated precisely over a decade ago to South Africa. So, when it comes to immigration and living in another country as an immigrant, so I'm just sharing my experience. So what I'm going to be talking about right now is about what you need to know before relocating. So I'm based in South Africa, so I would tend to structure most of my discussion around being in South Africa. So I'll be talking about what I've observed, my lived experience when it comes to immigrating to another country. So South Africa will be my reference point because this is where I'm based, but I would say it's kind of applicable to many countries around the world, right? So I have about 5 points to share to people that would want to immigrate or relocate sort of in a more permanent basis. So my first point would be, do not overstay your visa duration. Please, guys, that's like the major killer of people that relocate, but because they've overstayed their visa, even trying to fix that problem alone is the biggest challenge you can face as an immigrant. It's bigger than being unemployed, because most of the system, the way they operate is without this document, you are almost like a ghost in the system. Nobody sees you. You can't do anything without these papers. So for a lot of us that immigrated a long time ago from Nigeria, almost like when I got here, there's this system that everybody is on the system, so everybody can be identified. And then it wasn't like that back then, when I left Nigeria, but it has changed now. Abroad, or so to say South Africa, which is the same thing that applies to many countries, you have to be identified by the system. If not, you are almost like a ghost. You are existing, but you are not existing. So having overstay a duration of a visa and hoping to live in that country permanently, it's a no-no, because you are not seen. You can't do anything meaningful in that system, so you can't grow. So it's a no-no, guys. Do not overstay your visa. So if you have to be strategic. There's a lot of people that still say, if you want to go abroad, do a visiting visa, and then you don't return, you try to regularize your paper. Do not do it. I've come across a lot of people that would have good opportunities to grow, but they can't because their papers are not right. When they even try to fix it, they have to go through an immigration lawyer, and this problem keeps following you. When that visa expires, the one you did with an immigration lawyer expires, and then you want to apply again, you cannot apply by yourself because it's still picking up the problem you had from the beginning. So do not go to any country with the intention that you want to stay permanently on a visitor's visa or any other visa. Do not overstay the duration. It's better you go home and come back. Visiting visa is the worst. Visitor's visa is the worst. So if you are coming on a visiting visa, many countries, including South Africa, you can naturally not transit to another visa, to a student visa or to a work visa or to nothing. So if you are coming on a visiting visa, know that you are coming to visit. If you know you are not coming to visit, do not come with a visitor's visa. Look for there are other visas that you can come with, but do not come with if you know your intention is to stay, almost more like a long-term stay. Do not come with a visitor's visa, because for visiting visa you can't transit to any other thing. So that is my big no. Do not overstay your visa. That's my first point, right? And the second point I have, this applies to South Africa, of which I know. You do not, if you are applying for a visa, you do not need to use an agent. On the South African website, the Home Affairs website, or the visa application process is very easy, right? So you do not need whether immigration lawyer, any immigration agents, these agents that assist you with. If you can, take your time, put the document. It's so easy when it comes to South Africa. Some systems might be more complicated, I know, some other countries, but when it comes to South Africa, if you are looking to come into South Africa, the system of application is very easy. Get your papers right, and then you're going to get your visa. So you do not need to spend that extra money for an agent, and then you understand, you know what you submitted, you know how to renew the next time. Not somebody putting in some documents for you, you don't know what they put in, and so that's my number 2 no. If you're coming, if I remember many years ago when I applied to come to South Africa, I actually did my visa twice and I got it both times, which is, so the third point I will say, based on my experience, is what are you coming to do in South Africa? Very important. The way you enter this, the strategy you use in coming in has a major role to play on how successful you can be, and the time factor it will take you to be successful or not. So for sure, South Africa is a country that is not keen on low-skilled workers. There's a lot of low-skilled workers amongst their population, right? So is a country that is keen on highly skilled individuals. So they want people that are highly qualified academically and professionally. So it's a country that value very high-skilled people, because these are people that can most likely get into their system and get good jobs. There's what they call the critical skill list. So if you are coming to this country to you are more like immigrating for a more permanent stay, and you're trying to look if South Africa is a place for you, the first thing you have to look at is to look at the critical skill list. So this critical skill list is the list of shortages they have in this country. So you have to look at it and see if you qualify on this list, or if you can pivot into this list by studying something in that area. So it's either if you're coming here, it's either you're applying for the 2 most important visas are either the critical skill visas or the study visa. With the critical skill visa, you need to have employment. It's one of the criteria. So you need to have an employer. You have been employed, you have your employment letter, and then you can now apply for visa. So as the new critical, it wasn't always like that, but right now that is the way it operates. So if you know that you've not gotten employment and then you want to come, the only best way is to come on a student visa. You're coming to study. So if you are coming to study, you must also look at the critical skill list. Which area are they in shortage of? So if you are doing your masters, your honors, your masters, or your PhD, because South Africa have a way of evaluating BScs to a BSc, for instance, Nigerian BSc. I hear they are doing away with it, but there's a way they can evaluate your BSc to become your BSc honors to be a BSc, and then you need to do an honors for 1 year. So it depends on their South African Qualification Authority evaluates these foreign results, degrees kind of, and then give you the equivalent in South Africa. So if whether you're getting an honors, a master's equivalent, or you are coming to do your PhD, so whatever they've placed you in, that is what will determine what you can study here. Be sure to look at the critical skill list and know how to pivot your way to those shortage, those areas they have shortages. So that is my second point. You have to be very strategic. South Africa value very high skilled professionals. Therefore, it's a good place to do advanced study. So because it's difficult to get a job from outside, but they do. If you are very qualified, you can look for. There's a lot of vacancies for highly qualified people. So if you get this job and they are under the critical skill list, you can come in as somebody with employment, and then you apply for the critical skill visa. But most times, based on my experience here, you might want to come in as a student, right? Then do one of those courses in the critical skill area. Do not go and do a diploma. You have to look for an advanced degree, so to say, because it's a country that values people with advanced degree and experiences. So you have to look for a higher degree. So if you qualify for a master's, do a master's. Don't go and do something, diploma in something. No, or certificate in something just because you want to get in. It will affect you in the long run. So if you come in, try and get an advanced degree if you qualify for, and do that. Besides, many of the advanced degree have some form of funding, fee remission programs for them. Degrees that are research based. So masters that are based on research, and PhDs most times have, the different schools have their own packages, but most times they have this this either fee remission, or there's some one form of bursary or the other that the school is offering, or private companies, depending on the area. Other form of funding, if I still continue on that, apart from the fee remission, bursary, that's they give out to a lot of students across, both indigenous students and international students, when it comes to advanced degrees. So if you look for these opportunities, you'll find them. A lot of African students are here. South Africa has most of the top universities in Africa are in South Africa. So it's a good place to study, knowing that your degree will be well appreciated in other parts of the world. So another way by which you can get funding that is also linked to studying is that there are other form of incomes, kind of job employment, because most of these visa will allow you to work for I think 20 hours a week, thereabouts. But I know there are a lot of, or there are jobs which is student assistantship jobs for students that are doing research, that are doing advanced degrees. So you will get those jobs that you can go by, that can assist you with finances, living expenses, once you have registered for that program. And so jobs like student assistantship, research assistant, script markers, library support staff, they come on in most of these schools, and then you can take these roles, these jobs, and then earn some money that will assist you financially while studying as a student, right? So another area, this would be my fourth point if I'm not mistaken, is another thing that I've come to witness as somebody that has stayed here for a long time, is that still on the South Africa value highly skilled people, is that most of the foreign nationals that are in the system professionally, that are doing well, are either in academia or they are in the medical science, which are medical doctors basically, right? Highly skilled ones. So it's either these two areas. So it's either academic doctor or medical doctor. So those two areas are, based on my own experience, it's where you see a lot of foreigners, really highly skilled people that are now in the system. So if you are looking at migrating and staying permanently in Nigeria, you might want to look at that aspect of going upwards in South African context, right? So if you want to live here, so if you do your masters, climb up the ladder basically academically, and you can easily go in the system professionally because they value those, right? So then on my third point, so these two areas are academia, being a lecturer, because if you go to the university, there is a lot of foreign professionals, doctors, professors, associate professors that are there. If you have lower degrees, like to be a lecturer assistant, those ones you won't get it as a foreign national. So you must be somebody that have gotten a PhD to actually get it. Not just getting a PhD with good research output. So basically, top professionals, they do well in this country. So on my last point is that if you are done with your program and you still don't have a job, do not overstay here, because it won't do you any good. So I'm going back again to do not overstay your visas. So because South Africa has a way of supporting students that come here for advanced degree or research-based program, it's actually a win-win situation. You won't be spending all your money if you look properly. If you look properly, you won't be spending all your money on paying fees and other. There's some form of support, and you are going to a good university or a well-recognized university worldwide. So it's basically a win-win situation. So if you don't get a job to say, it's basically a loss to the country. That's the way I see it, my personal opinion, because now they've groomed a fine professional, right? So it's something that you can easily relocate to any part of the world if you don't find something to do here. So do not overstay. If you overstay your visa, there is no hope anymore to say you want to get something here. So do not overstay. It's better you leave, look for opportunities elsewhere, go back to your own country, and then you can even apply from there. I didn't talk about like, share, and subscribe to my channel, but now let me talk about it. So if this kind of content is something that you'll be interested in, please like, share, and hit that notification bell so that when I post any video, you will be the first to know. Please support my channel to grow. I'm still a fairly new YouTuber and trying to grow my channel. So please like and share and hit that notification bell. Thank you.